Welcome back to Let the Boys Watch, an entertainment podcast brought to you by Going Great Productions. And on today's episode, we're talking about the 2023 thriller, The Killer, directed by David Fincher, starring Michael Fassbender, Tilda Swinton, Charles Parnell, and Arliss Howard. I am one of your co-hosts. My name is Robbie. And alongside me is a man who never misses on his social media post, cousin Benny. How you doing?
Hey, Robbie, I got a question for you.
Sure.
How's I don't give a fuck going for you?
Worse and worse by the day. And alongside us, a man who never misses the opportunity to fucking interrupt me. One of our co-hosts and a good friend of ours, Ryan. How's it going?
Pretty good. Maybe I wouldn't interrupt you so much if you would stick to your plan. Anticipate.
Don't you're a man. You're a man who strikes me that shows no empathy.
That's right.
Yeah, little fuck.
Well, yeah, like Robbie said, this is Let the Boys Watch. And we watch movies that either one or all of us haven't seen. And this week, it's new movie week because The Killer came out on Netflix. We're all, I'd say we're all like pretty decent Fincher fans. So we were pretty excited to watch this. I did personally have some reservations going in, but we'll talk about that later. So yeah, let's just get right into it. Actually, no, you know what? Before we get into it, please.
My man.
Almost forgot again. Send us an email, ltbwpodcast@gmail.com. Send us an email about this week. Let us know what you thought of The Killer. I'm very curious because we're all on the same, level here, by never seeing it. Or any other movie that we've watched, or send us some recommendations because there's a good chance Benny hasn't seen your favorite movie. There's a decent chance Robbie hasn't, although Robbie has seen quite a few. And there's a good chance I've seen it because I have no fucking life and I saw every movie and TV show. Also follow us, like Robbie mentioned before, on Instagram because Benny kills it most weeks with some good posts. Although he has some competition with those thumbnails lately. Robbie's been cooking things up in the social media lab.
Yeah, if you haven't been following us on YouTube, you better get in there now because Robbie's spitting hot fire, as the kids would say.
I'm cooking them up, cooking some meth up in there.
That's right. So yeah, follow us there. Let the Boys Watch pod. Typically, unlike this week, we do votes every Friday. So we pick 3 movies that most of us haven't seen, and we let you guys vote on it, and then we watch whatever you say, and then we talk about it. So yeah, check us out there. Again, please send us some emails, some messages. If you're too lazy to open your email client, send us a DM or a text. We don't care. We love you. Thank you for your support. But let's get into it. So, typically we kind of do like, what'd you think over the past 30 years of not seeing this movie? But just open it up. Did anyone have any thoughts or preconceived notions about this movie going into it?
Robbie, why don't you go first since you brought up the movie to us?
Preconceived notions? I'm not sure. I'm a big Finch fan. I've seen a bunch of his movies. Gone Girl, Zodiac. I mean, I would say my favorite movie of the last century, and maybe of all time, is one of his movies, and that's The Social Network. I love that movie. Definitely in my top 3 of all time. What else did I see of his? Oh, we just saw us. I didn't see 7. No, we just saw Fight Club, which I enjoyed. But I figured what I was getting into was a Fincher movie, very meticulous, dimly lit kind of movie. I don't want to say like a monologue, but some kind of movie where you get like I guess the social cues of how Fincher thinks and how he feels and what he feels about society. I mean, I feel like you got that in Fight Club and you got that here in this movie with the narrator, with the killer. So yeah, I was excited because I do love Fincher's work. Some of his movies I don't really plan on seeing, like maybe Mank or something like that. But Thoroughly enjoyed every time a David Fincher movie comes out. I had reservations because obviously it came out on in a theater, but you know, I don't know if me and Ryan were talking about like what kind of movies that come out on Netflix have we really enjoyed? And it's like I don't know. I feel like none of these movies sometimes that come out on streaming services I really enjoyed, but I was thoroughly you know, enjoyed by this movie and I really couldn't wait for it to come out. So yeah, that's really all I got.
Yeah, for me, I was intrigued by the trailer. I've talked a few times how I'm not a trailer guy. I don't like spoiling things because it usually gives away the whole plot of the movie, which I feel like this one didn't, looking back on it. Like, it gave you the bullet points of who the character was, but not really much on the plot, which, thankfully it didn't. I was excited that it was Fincher. I was excited that it was Fassbender, even though I don't really remember watching a Fassbender movie. I just know that he's highly regarded. So yeah, I was excited for it. I think my excitement or my expectations were not low, but mid-level because it was, a straight to Netflix thing, even though it was in the movie theater. But yeah, I was just kind of in the mood for like an action movie, something that didn't take a lot of thought or wasn't really particularly too heavy of a topic, after watching a lot of the heavy hitters that we've watched recently. So yeah, I was excited to watch it, but expectations weren't like super high.
Yeah, kind of feel the same as you guys. Like, I was just while you guys were talking, I was trying to find any like straight to streaming movies that were very good, and I saw a couple lists, and I've seen a number of them, and nothing really stands out. Like, honestly, and we'll get to how I feel about this movie. This might be the best one of the straight to streaming. The only other one I could think of that I might like more, and I haven't seen it yet, is that Weird Al Yankovic movie with Harry Potter. I feel like I'll like that movie, but I haven't seen
I've
it.
I've seen some clips on it on like TikTok and stuff, and it
Yeah.
just looks incredibly silly, and I'm all for it. I love that, he's not him, but he's in the movie. I saw Jack Black, Conan O'Brien pop up in there, so I definitely want to watch that at some point, but it's on Tubi, so who the fuck knows how you watch that? Um, but what about did you guys watch Don't Look Up?
Oh yeah, that was decent. That was
Yeah, that's
decent.
pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, it's got your boy in it, Robbie. Yeah, that was okay. You're right. That's probably up there, I guess.
I feel like that one had the most star power of any straight to streamer. So that one had like the best. Or listen, yeah, I'm gonna counter undermine us again and say The Irishman.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Question was good, yeah. Very long.
still haven't seen it.
Oh,
It was
I thought,
pretty good. It was just yeah, it needed to be like at least 30 minutes less. And
or yeah, an hour and a half less.
What was it
yeah,
like three
probably
and a half or three?
something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, there was this one scene that took me out of the movie. You have like a CGI face, De Niro
Yeah, that was
kicking
bad.
and beating somebody up, and his face looks 30, but his legs look 80. So it's like, what's the like? So it was so stupid. I was like, this is dumb.
Yeah. Yeah, that
You
that I agree. That was annoying. And I wonder, like, why is it, and we're getting off track here, but that's okay. Why is it that there's so many good series, TV series that go straight to streaming? I mean, the only other option is network or cable TV. And a lot of them have great CGI, good production values and whatever, but it just seems like every movie that's straight to streaming, almost every movie is like low production value. Like you can almost tell it's just not there. And like CGI is pretty rough typically. I don't get it. There must be a reason.
I wonder if they spend so much of their budget on like actually getting talent into the movie that it
Maybe.
it leaves them lacking in other areas. Like, yeah, there might be some good series that Netflix comes out with, but it's more often than not starring people that are not really the high end talent. Like, so to think to get someone like DiCaprio, De Niro, Pacino, guys like that, maybe it just, they spend so much money getting Scorsese to do a movie for them that it doesn't really leave them with much else.
Could be. Yeah, I don't know. Um But even saying that, this movie, I thought direction wise, like the movie itself, there was a minimal special effects, but the movie looked great. I thought it was, we'll get into that, but it didn't seem like it was lacking that. But whatever, we'll talk about what I thought about it later.
I have one more point on
Yeah,
Netflix, just
please.
because I really never open Netflix. I think Aya is the one that uses it the most in our house, but it just kind of seems like they're moving in a direction where it's like a lot of like profiles on people, and like I guess you call them documentaries, but like there was an Arnold one, there was a Stallone one, there was like all these kind of like biography documentaries on there. It's just interesting to see the direction that Netflix is going in. Robbie, have you seen any of those? I know you saw the Get Gotti one, but
I saw the Get Gotti one. I saw the Arnold one. That was good. I did watch, um, I think the Untold Sports ones with like Jake Paul and Johnny Manziel and the Florida Gators, like the Tim Tebow Florida Gators. They were done. They were done well. I do enjoy that stuff. But yeah, like you, I don't really open up Netflix a lot. Sometimes I'll waste like an hour trying to find a movie, and then I'm like, oh, I'm done. I'll just go back to YouTube. So I don't really watch that stuff a lot. I pay, out the ass for this stuff, but yeah, I feel like there are definitely, I feel like they've always been, but maybe the past 5 years just heavy documentary driven.
yeah,
So I'm gonna say that it's probably because they're A, cheap to make, and B, fast to make. Because like how much like heavy editing is done with these things, and how much are they actually paying? And maybe it's the documentary's subject that gets the most money if it's like an Arnold or something like that. But that's my thought. That's my theory. I don't know if that's true or not.
yeah.
Anyway, so should we get into, I guess, some overall thoughts and plum scores? What do you think?
Sure.
Anyone want to go first?
I feel like I haven't gone first in a while on this one. I'll go.
Go ahead.
Overall, I thought it was good. Not great. There were just a couple things in the movie that like not turned me off to it, but I get the fact why he wanted revenge, but they really gave you no reason to care about his girlfriend. So it was kind of like, all right, she's in the movie for 2 seconds. I'm supposed to care. Um, I felt a lot of the time like I was watching an episode of Dexter. I don't know if either of you guys like got super deep into Dexter, but it was like very much the same formula where this whole thing could have been a season of Dexter where he has a kill, it goes wrong, and now he's trying to clean up his mess. Um, that's the heavy on the narration, and that made me think of Dexter. So, like a lot of the movie I spent thinking about that, and I had a chance to talk to Kenny a little bit after the movie, and he said that he thought the same thing. It was okay. He read the graphic novel back in the day and said like there was a lot of stuff they added and changed up, and it was like a longer series. And I was kind of thinking like, you know what, this actually would have made a good series, but then it would have been compared to Dexter. And I kind of understand why. And Fincher just had Mindhunter canceled by Netflix. But yet, I mean, barring all that, I enjoyed it. I thought the performance by Fassbender was awesome. I loved all the stuff they did with the sound in the movie. Like that was really cool. Um, I would I watch it again? Honestly, I might just kind of let's like throw it on, but it's not like a replayable movie in that sense where I'd watch it over and over and over again. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Not gonna give it, you know, huge awards or anything like that and put it in my top five, but it was a fun time.
Yeah. I pretty much agree with that. Like there's things I liked. Um, the direction, the cinematography, you mentioned the sound and the, soundtrack and music. I liked all those things. The one fight scene I really loved. Um, but yeah, overall I don't know, the plot, the story, like I didn't really care what happened. Like basically once he got past the lawyer and then there was the fight, like kind of everything else, like there was cool parts to it, like thing with Tilda Swinton or the expert, whatever they're calling her, was like decent, I guess, but I just like didn't care. Like I needed a little more from this, like or maybe some kind of struggle, like he got badly injured in that fight or something. Like it was just basically like he fucked up the beginning, and then it was just like kill, 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 kill. All right, we're done, and everyone's happy, and that's it. We're back in
Yeah.
paradise. Like I don't
Yeah.
know. So I don't. I probably I wouldn't not watch it again, but I probably won't choose to watch it again. If it's on somehow, maybe I'll keep it on for a little bit. But eh. It was kind of like Taken without the agency. That's how I felt. Like it was like Taken, at least you feel like, all right, he's trying to get his daughter, and he's got a particular set of skills. But yeah, I don't know. It's a shame because the direction was good, cinematography was good, Fassbender was good, and some of the other actors are great, but it just fell a little flat for me.
Yeah, I needed more Atticus Ross and Trent Reznor. I feel like I didn't get, the social network experience with them. I thought it was a good movie. I thought obviously the cinematography was great. I kind of was hesitant in the beginning. I'm like, man, this is really taking some time to get to the point. I understand the backstory and what you got to lead up to and kind of get into this guy's head. I don't agree with caring for the girlfriend because I don't really think it was about that. I think it was about the mistakes that he made that got to that point and him righting his own wrongs. Obviously, he's a control freak type dude, a dude that, never messes up. And the one time he messes up now puts the person that, you know, he loves in danger. Obviously, he's not some big emotional guy, as you could see by the narration, how he, moves throughout the movie. But I never got to the point where I was like caring about the person that got injured. I just thought it was more about the fact of him seeking revenge for the mistakes that he made. I don't think it was a heavy plot movie. I mean, this is not going to win any, adapted screenplay awards, but I did enjoy Fassbender in this movie. I feel like a lot of movies he's in aren't good choices, and I think this played to his strong suits well. Obviously, he was amazing in Inglourious Basterds, and I love that movie and his character. Obviously, the Smiths. I love the Smiths. You give me depressing songs, and I'm fucking ready to go all day long. That's my opinion. Shake your head, and I'll jump to the screen and super kick you. Other than that,
Go ahead.
it was a tense movie. And that's what I liked about it. I feel sometimes it's tense movies are better than horror movies. I feel like because you never know what's gonna happen. There was a lot of points in this movie where I was like, oh fuck, what's gonna happen? Someone's gonna jump out. He's gonna get shot. Like the way it was like shot and way it was moving. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. Will I watch it again? Probably. Is it my favorite Fincher movie of all time? Definitely not. But yeah, I did enjoy this movie, and I forgot the point I wanted to make. But let me
While you're
see.
looking that up, I agree with you that yeah, maybe it's not about her. It is about, and it's
No.
just very Dexter, where it's like I have my code, and the second I deviate from that, look what happens, and like everything just goes to shit. And I think yeah, that's probably more of the point of the movie, and that's what I liked about it. But to me, I don't know if the Dexter comparison just got to me after a while, but like I felt like I was constantly comparing it to that.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. Like I'm not saying I wanted a full on like romance, with a half an hour dedicated to this woman at all. I just felt like it it is it is what it is. Like it definitely was just about him. It was about the killer, and it was about him, going fucking up and going through all these things. Um, but I don't know. I feel like I personally wanted something more. It didn't have to be the girlfriend, but I wanted some kind of struggle maybe, or someone like maybe you thought is like one against them, because like yeah, he fucked up the first thing, but there was basically no real danger to him succeeding this entire movie. I mean, there was the fight where the guy, I mean, that guy should have punched his fucking head off with that uppercut. He should have been dead. But like overall, he just kind of like win. Like there was, and I guess that's a testament to how good of an assassin he is. But I don't know. I guess I just wanted a little something else.
Did you remember your point, Robbie?
At first, I thought that was Roman Reigns. I said, "Oh man, Roman's in the
I
movie.
thought
Let's
that
fuck-"
too.
right?"
I thought that too.
I was like, "Nice," because I saw the tattoo. I saw the big. I'm like, "Holy shit, it's the fucking big dog. The big dog's in this movie."
The
But
tribal chief.
yeah, I thought the head of the table. I was disappointed when it wasn't him. When they showed him, I was like, "Fuck, man! I thought that was the god." Um, but you guys didn't think like there were times I'm like, "Don't slip up." Like you keep on, going by this show no empathy, and I'm like, ah, man, he's gonna slip up with this lady. Oh, he's gonna slip up when he's at the dinner table with Tilda Swinton. So I think some of those parts of the movie, I was like, he's gonna slip up. But that's what I kind of loved about it, that he did, because I feel like most movies we watch, somebody slips up and it
Mhm.
gets him killed, right? Or it injures them, or it ruins some kind of whatever their plot is or whatnot. But
Right.
I enjoyed that the most. Um, but I understand. I mean, sometimes you're looking for something in the movie where, it gives you a reason to kind of believe in a character, or kind of root for the character. Here, he was just going, you know, seeking revenge for what he did and to put his quote unquote girlfriend in trouble. But
Yeah.
No,
shout out. Oh, go
go
ahead.
ahead. No,
No,
please.
no, no. This was nothing. I was just gonna say, shout out New Orleans. Shout out
Shout
Beacon.
out. Shout
Couple
out.
places I've been. So shout out.
No, but like that's, and you know what? I'm probably looking a little too deep into this movie, like because of all these great like classics we've been watching, where really at the end of the day, like this movie might just be this character is awesome, and it's just like him, it's just a showcase for this character, because that's what I loved about the movie. And like you said, like I love that he stuck to the code even when there were those tense moments where you thought, oh, this is where he fucks up, oh, this is where he fucks up, and he doesn't. And I kind of love the fact too that not, it is kind of glorification of like the hitman, but I love how almost mundane they made it, where it was like he didn't have like these special tools a lot of the times. It was like, oh, I'm gonna order this thing off Amazon real quick. And it was just like that was almost like crazy to think, it's like all those hack videos of like how easy it is to just break into this or that. And that's kind of scary too, to realize like how almost easy he makes it look. And it's not like this huge production. It's him just going about his day and like, oh, this is a minor inconvenience, but I know a way around it. So that's what I enjoyed about the movie so much, was the character. Maybe it really wasn't ever about the plot. Like it was just, here, enjoy this character, cool cinematography, cool music. I thought of you, Robbie, when it was when he was lining up the shot and it was going in his head and you would hear the music, and then it would go back out to like the ambient sounds and then back into the headphones. Maybe they did it once or too many times, because it was bouncing back and forth quite a bit. But I was thinking about the Reservoir Dog scenes with, he's got the music playing, he goes outside, shuts the door behind him, the music cuts off, and then he goes back in and the music kicks back in. So I thought of you there.
You know me too well, because in my notes, I have the way the music goes from his headphones and back onto the screen. I love that stuff like that. It's just little subtle things. And, if you're going to give me a downward shot of a staircase, I'm all in. So every time he did that downward shot, he was walking that. I mean, that was great. But yeah, I, I think this is one of the least plot heavy or plot driven movies we've watched. So yeah, I mean, it's basically Fassbender the entire movie. Tilda Swinton, the lawyer, they only get a couple of minutes to shine, and they did great. But yeah, plot wise, I mean, no, this wasn't like a masterpiece. It wasn't Shawshank Redemption.
I think to connect to a point we were talking about before, like Robbie, you bring up a good point with, like when movies try to make it where someone fucks up and they get killed, or someone they care about gets killed, and then it's like, oh my God, like, and whatever. There's such a fine line I feel like movies have to follow where, you're looking at the human condition, and like it could come off as super cheesy because it's like they're trying to get you to feel something by doing whatever that is. Or in this case, where it's like you're kind of just like almost ignoring it, where it's like, is he a sociopath? Like, I mean, probably. And so like there is no connection, but that's almost the point, that you're not supposed to feel a connection to a killer. And who else are you supposed to feel a connection to? Like, as a I mean, I don't know if we're normal human beings, but non-assassins. So,
But
yeah, go ahead.
no, because I was thinking like when I was watching this movie, I was having flashbacks to like just don't be like Saving Private Ryan, right? Where they let that soldier go, right? They show empathy towards that soldier, and then he's the one that winds up, killing Tom
Killing
Hanks's
Tom
character.
Hanks.
So I mean, that's what I enjoyed because, like you said, he is an assassin
Right.
and sticks to his code. But that's what I loved. You never like you always were thinking, because I feel like we've been conditioned with movies to be like, oh fuck, this guy's gonna go back on his word and save this lady, and she's gonna wind up, fucking stabbing him in the back of the head. So
She almost
I
did.
enjoyed that. Yeah.
Um, all right. I'm sure there'll be plenty more conversation like that. Should we get through some plum scores and then we'll talk characters and scenes?
Let's do it.
Does anyone want to go first?
I'll go first.
All right.
Yeah, I was like I said in the beginning, when I was watching, I'm like, man, this is gonna be one of them fucking just slow pace type Fincher movies. Um, and I was like, I don't, I was like, damn it. And I was like, why did I waste my time watching this? But then it picked up and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the chase scenes, the way that it moved from like city to city. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the little subtle humor that Fassbender's character had in it. That was cool. Even though he was a psychopath, he did have some funny moments. Like I said, is it my favorite Fincher movie? No. Is it in the top five? I don't even think I've seen five, but I don't know, probably not. I debated. I didn't want to go too high, but I didn't want to go too low. So I decided on an 8.2.
I'll go next. Yeah, no, like I said, I enjoyed it. But when it came to giving it a score, we say we try not to really compare it to the other movies that we've seen, but again, it's hard. And I enjoyed it, but I'm not like running to tell people, oh, you got to go watch this movie. Um, so I did go kind of low just because I thought that there's going to be so many other movies between this and things that I gave high scores to that we're going to watch. So I went kind of low. I went 6.8 just because I thought it was a solid movie. Again, like kind of middle of the road for me, but it was better than probably a lot of stuff that's out there. Hopefully better than some of the things we end up watching. Um, but yeah, I don't want to go too nuts with the score just because I don't feel like it changed the way I watch movies or had like this grand point. It was just kind of like a fun ride. So yeah, don't want to go too high. I feel like that's kind of low. Might be one of the lowest scores I gave, but it doesn't mean it's necessarily a bad thing.
No, still a passing score. But yeah, I'm kind of in that same realm, Benny. Like, I don't care if I ever watch it again. I'm definitely not. I wouldn't tell people not to watch it, but wouldn't be like, oh, you got to watch it. It's so good. I'd be like, yeah, if you got a lazy Sunday and you want to just kind of see a movie about a assassin, it's pretty decent. So I gave it a 6.7. Um, Decent movie. Again, I didn't love it. Don't care if I watch it again. but there's things about it that were good.
Yeah, I think it's like a fun movie to talk about, but I'm not rushing to give it any like awards, like I said earlier.
Yeah, I agree with you again because we've talked about it as ad nauseum. Like there's so many movies that we'll probably watch or that just in general thinking about like that are better than this movie, but it's not like a 9.4 like some classic movies.
Yeah.
But like in that realm, like the nines and tens and whatever. So I feel like even like I'm not scared, but like I'm kind of like I don't want to dip below like 6 point like low sixes because I feel like it's like all right that's really bad, but it's out of 10. Like even a
Yeah.
5.8 is like still a watchable crappy movie. But we haven't gotten there yet, so we'll see what happens with
I
that.
feel like my line of I don't like this. This is a bad movie for me is like 4.9. Like
Yeah,
anything below that, then it's like that was a bad movie. Like anything over 5 is like I enjoyed it. It was good. So going, a point and almost 2 full points over that, it means to me it means I enjoyed it.
agree. Same. Robbie, do you want to yell at us at all, or should we move on?
No, it is what it is.
I know.
It's not some great movie, but I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Congratulations to the both of you.
um,
I don't know. I guess I'm just a bitch sometimes. Um,
no.
I feel like my sevens are. I thought it was okay.
Yeah,
And as my sixes are probably something that I think is something I don't enjoy. Um, but yeah, I guess everybody has a different scale. Uh, but yeah, like you said, I'm not running out and you know running on the Southern State and saying stop the presses.
guys,
See here,
stop.
yeah, say that, Jack. Yeah, why don't you go see this new movie, this new Fincher movie? But no, yeah, it's a good movie. It's okay. But Fassbender is the best. So I mean, he's the best, and I've seen one movie of his, so I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying. So it is what it is.
He's
Like
he's
I'm not
definitely
gonna go
good.
watch that stupid soccer movie that I see on fucking about him that's coming out. I'm never gonna watch that movie. So it is what it is.
Is that the Taika Waititi one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
What? I'm
It's called
interested in
like
that.
Last Man In or something.
let's go fucking bend it like fucking Deckham.
No, he's in. I mean, I'm trying to see quick, like what he. I know you're probably not going to watch it because you're not super into that, but he was in a couple X-Men movies, and he was really
Okay,
good as Magneto. He was like one of the highlights of the movie. In the movies were decent, like better than average, but not. Some of them weren't amazing, but um,
Was he in like Rush or Ford versus Ferrari or something like that? Or something similar?
I don't think
I
so.
don't think so. No.
Oh
No.
no. I don't know why I made that connection, but he was in that Steve Jobs movie.
Yes, he played Steve Jobs. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see that. Who directed that?
I don't know,
What's
but it
the?
was again another one of those dueling movies where like
Yep.
two movies come out like around the same time about like a very similar thing because there was that Ashton Kutcher Steve Jobs movie as well.
Yeah. This one was directed by Danny Boyle, who did a number of very good movies. And written by Aaron Sorkin, who we
I knew
visited with
that. Yeah.
last week.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that the Ashton Kutcher one was kind of a fluff piece, and the Fassbender one was a little bit more like this is kind of what really happened and didn't like necessarily make Steve Jobs look like a god.
Agree. Kind of made him look like an asshole.
Yeah.
Um, the other movie he was in that I just want to shout out quick is a movie called Frank. And it's fucking weird. I don't think anyone else will like it, but he basically he plays this dude that wears one of those big like mascot heads all the time. It's fucking wild. But whatever, I liked it. I like weird shit. Um Should we
He goes
do? Go ahead.
he goes full front in a movie. I don't know which one it is, but he goes full
Does it?
frontal.
I
Please,
mean,
I'm gonna hop off the call now and go watch it.
yeah. Do some
Let's just say
Google
let's just
searches.
say he's packing some meat.
He's confident.
Plus, he's married to an absolute fox anyway, too.
Who's he
Really?
married to?
Alicia Vikander.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know if you ever seen Ex Machina.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yes, she is attractive. Good for him.
The Bender.
The panda. So you guys want to do scenes or characters?
Do you want to do characters just because, like,
It's not much there.
yeah, it's very light.
Yeah, sure. Let's do. We'll do favorite characters and then scrape the bottom of the barrel for least favorite because there's only like 5 characters in the movie.
Yeah. Robbie, why don't you go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
You sure? I mean, I feel like I've been getting the pick of the litter.
You
Go
deserve it,
ahead.
buddy.
All right. I guess I'll go with Michael Fassbender as the killer.
Damn. How'd you know that I was gonna pick that?
Ah,
Uh,
you stole ours.
very light part for Fassbender. Maybe
Blink and
in
you
it
miss
for
him.
a couple. Yeah, you blink and you miss him. He's in one scene at the bar table, and he orders 3 glasses, and he gives us himself up. But no, I mean it's Fassbender. The guy's a fox, like I said today. I mean, he's an extra value meal in this movie. He very limber.
Yes.
I mean, those push-ups would have destroyed my shoulders completely off the bone. But yeah, I mean, he was the movie. I just loved everything about his character. Like I said, I'm not going into some extreme detail, but yeah, I just loved his stoic type personality and the way he carried himself in this movie. You know, you get his inner monologue, you understand who he is. I think he played it very well. Just a stone cold assassin. I think that's kind of what you want out of an assassin character. No empathy, you know, didn't show rarely any emotion, maybe until the end of the movie. But he had a job to do. He did it. He fucked up in the beginning, and he went on a little revenge spree. And I mean, how many aliases? I mean, the man was George Jefferson. I mean, what's
Yeah.
better than that? I mean, how many
Archie
aliases?
Bunker.
Did
Bunker.
Yeah, yeah, he had all these fantastic 70s and 80s TV character names. So
Yeah, I love that.
I
That's
mean,
one thing I was kind of like, nobody picks up on this. Like, and there was a number of things. We'll talk about it later. Just a number of things that I was kind of like, all right, like, come on, that's ridiculous. Like, no one's gonna see him parked in this car for fucking 12 hours right outside of people's house. Like,
Yeah. But I think with the names, I think that they're like, because I forget if it was Aya or it was Kenny that I brought that up to. And they're like, oh, I didn't even notice that. And I wonder if those characters are so old at this point. Like, who knows who Felix Unger is? Who knows? I think one of them was like the dad from the Partridge Family.
Yep.
Or
I got them all right here. You want them?
Yeah, go ahead.
Felix Unger,
Odd Couple.
Odd Couple, Archibald Bunker,
All in the Family.
Archie, Oscar Madison,
Was the other Odd Couple.
correct. Howard Cunningham,
Richie Cunningham's dad.
yup. Reuben Kincaid,
That was the Partridge Family one, right?
correct. Lou Grant,
That one I didn't know.
Mary Tyler Moore / he had his own spinoff called The Lou Grant Show, or just Lou Grant. Sam Malone,
cheers.
Cheers. Yeah.
George Jefferson, we know, and Robert Hartley.
That was Newhart, right?
Yeah, Bob Newhart. Yep.
Yeah.
Wow, pretty good, Benny.
Thanks.
You watched a lot
that's
of Nick at Night.
that's
huh?
what I'm saying. Like, that's the shit that I know for some reason. Like, those were the things I was watching, like with my grandma back in the day, like Happy Days and shit like that. So
Well, I feel like I could use maybe a Blanche. That would have been a nice little name if we.
Blanche
But
Devereaux.
Yeah, but I feel like what you said, Ben. I feel like it's just a subtle shot at maybe today's generation not knowing anything about the past. So maybe that was it. But yeah, Fastbender.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to finish. Fastbender as the killer is my favorite character. Surprise,
Yeah,
surprise.
before I give my pick for
Surprise,
that,
surprise.
I wonder if this is going to be like another Fight Club where like people are like,
Yes.
oh, that's so me. Like,
The incels are just drooling over this fucking guy.
And that's kind of what I like about the Fincher movies too, is like, like you don't even realize that he's like taking shots at people for being the way that they are, and people adopt them, like I did with Fight Club.
Yeah.
I was originally going to break the rule. I think Robbie hit all the points, so I'll leave the killer at that. And I was also going to pick somebody else, but I'm going to go with the lawyer, Charles Parnell, and
Man.
for an interesting reason. And it's because I like the way that he died.
Yes.
And not like, oh, he got the nails to the chest, but like it was a believable death. And we there's so many deaths in movies and TV shows and video games that are just so ridiculous. It felt real when he died. I also loved his demeanor, like as he was trying to negotiate with the killer and like understanding who he was, understanding that I'm probably fucked, so I'm not going to freak out. I'm just going to try to do this calmly. So for a short role, I thought it was not only a cool scene, but I just like the way that he handled the role.
Got shot with
Yeah, I love
9-inch nails. Get it?
I
Trent
see
Reznor?
see what they did there.
he was good. He's good, man. I enjoyed him. He was in Barry,
Yeah.
Top Gun Maverick. But what I found so funny is that when he shot him with the nails, he thought he had like more time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just like instantly died. He's like, oh boy.
He's like, male, 190 pounds, blah, blah, blah. Should be 6-7 minutes. Fuck.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah, I felt like he was in a number of obviously in the beginning when he fucks up the shot with the target. There was like a number of things where it was like he was so sure of himself with something and he just like kind of fucked up a little. He was obviously a very good assassin because he killed all these people, but just like any other person, like you're gonna fuck up. So it's not like he wasn't infallible, which I kind of like that. Although he was in some ways kind of superhuman-esque, like any normal person's not gonna be able to do some of the things he did, like get fucking obliterated by an uppercut from Roman Reigns.
The Superman. Well, if he used the Superman punch on him, he would have been done.
It was over.
But the other thing I saw someone bring up too was, do you think that was he infallible, or is that like just his ego where he like thinks that he's this like infallible killer? And we kind of see that he's not, and he is prone to making little mistakes here and there. But I mean, again, you go to the other side of that where he says that Ted Williams batted 344, or besides the one person that died of a heart attack, I'm batting 1,000. So maybe not, and that's why we got this movie.
Yeah. Is it maybe like you brought it up before, like almost another dig at that teen to young 20s male culture where they think, and we were guilty of this as well at that age, but like think you're again infallible and you're right, everything you do and say is right, but you're not. Maybe that was kind of another dig at that mindset, I guess. The ego, I don't know if we're looking to, or if I'm looking too deep into it, but
Not that, but I feel like he might even be a hypocrite himself, like Fincher, with that, making fun of people and ego. Like I'm sure he has a tremendous ego. He takes all this Netflix money and all this money. So, I mean, who is he to say what the culture is and what is? I get where he's coming from, and maybe that's the point too. He's like he knows who he is, and he is what he is, and he does, make these movies and take these big checks, but he can also poke fun at society as a whole.
right.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's like you can make all the comments you want about how corporations are fucking up our world and stuff like that, but you go and take millions of dollars from a corporation. So like,
and then you have Amazon, McDonald's, like all these things sprinkled in
Starbucks. Yeah, exactly.
And I felt like there was like a little bit of Fight Club type of like commentary with all these things. But again, yeah, Robbie might be right. Where it's like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, you can take all this money, but then you're poking fun. But then I don't know. Who am I to fucking say? Like, I'd probably take that money too.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
I would definitely
100%.
take that money.
Yeah.
McDonald's, if you're listening,
Yeah.
sponsor the pot.
I'll eat all the breadless egg sandwiches you want me to.
I kind of thought that was a good idea.
Yeah.
It is, right? I was like, you know what?
Protein.
That's not a bad. I'm gonna go. That's what I'm gonna do for now on if I'm hungry in a bind.
Yeah, the boy loves his protein. He's eating the hard-boiled eggs. Guy knows what to do. Can't have the carbs weighing you down when you're on a mission.
No way. Your fucking heart rate go to the roof.
My favorite character was the expert, Tilda Swinton, and just because I don't know, I just like her and pretty much
She's good.
I just like her, like how she speaks, and like how she acts in so many of these movies. It's
She
very
commands the
elegant.
scene.
She does. She's very commanding and very elegant, but can play the like psychopath or quiet psychopath very well. So I really like that about her. She's awesome in like almost everything she's in. So I was probably I might have picked her even if I went first. I mean Fassbender obviously is the star of this movie, but I do really like Tilda Swinton.
Yeah, that was
She's
gonna
like a
probably the best
weirdo,
actor in
but
the movie.
I like her. Sorry, what'd you say?
She was far and away the best actor in the movie.
Right. Agree. Did you guys think, and I don't know if we'll get into this with the scenes, did you think that during that whole scene, she was gonna fuck him up, like she was almost like giving codes to the wait staff, or like his drink was gonna be poisoned, or like some wild shit was gonna happen? Because the entire time I was like, that was a code. Oh, ice cream in the back, he's fucking dead.
I just thought, just thought that she was going to make him slip up by talking and getting in his head. Because there was some points where I'm like, oh fuck, she's 100% in his head right now, and he's gonna slip up and make a mistake. But that's what I might do next time when I'm out with Benny. I might make a time I slip on the ice and just fucking gut him in the tummy.
Please, like I would fucking offer to help you up. Come on.
Can we get a quick plum rating on her joke?
I liked it.
It was pretty funny. I'll give it 8.3.
Yeah, I thought I'd give it
What was
a
it?
9.1.
Oh, that's pretty high.
It's a good joke.
It's
The
pretty
joke
good.
about the bear.
The bear and the hunter.
Oh, I
Remember?
probably zoning out.
That's okay.
When he
7.6.
the bear fucking the hunter. You don't remember that?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I talking about 7.7.
Does anyone have? Are there any Ani mentions before we move on for favorite characters?
Let's move on.
I just quick shout out to Dolores.
Okay, yeah, she was good.
Yeah, she was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I go with the trainer at Valencia Equinox, Bali Equinox. I thought he was fantastic on
Fantastic.
jump roping. So shout out to him.
Good job. All right, least favorite characters. Oh, I went last, so I go first.
Yeah.
I'm gonna what do they call him in this movie? I believe they called him the client, the fucking rich guy, the billionaire. Fuck him.
Oh, I had him down as Biff Bezos
Good one.
as my least favorite character.
Yeah, he fuck it. Like he's just. I mean, we didn't get a reason for him wanting that other guy dead, right? There was no explanation given. You're just assuming it was maybe business related or something, right?
Yeah, you didn't get the reason.
Okay. But yeah, it's just typical billionaire. Yeah, clean it up for me. I don't care what happens. And one of my favorite parts of this movie is the fact that Fassbender actually doesn't kill him, which would have been too easy. He just instilled the fact that no matter like how easy it was to get in there, and that he would fuck with his shit, like put a radioactive material on his coffee mug, or be able to just maybe the rest of that guy's life he's gonna be checking every fucking
Yeah,
thing.
looking
He's
over
gonna
his
be
shoulder.
paper cups and paper plates and like disposable everything because he's not gonna trust anything. So that might be worse than death, maybe.
So the reason that he didn't kill him, I don't know if it was just like he talked his way out of it by being like, I didn't know what the fuck that meant, but by like, I'll clean it up. Or he did notice that he got seen on camera.
Yes.
And he made that comment before he went in the first time, being like, oh, well, you know what? He couldn't have talked himself out of it because he never bought
He didn't have
bullets for the
bullets.
gun.
Yeah.
And then the other thing was he made that comment like, if I kill this person, there's going to be cops like nonstop trying to figure out what this was. So yeah, I feel like it was just obviously never in the cards to actually kill him. So, and I think that was like almost a commentary on like all these other people can die, but if you have any type of notoriety, like
Yeah.
you're safe. And we see that like now with politics and people getting charged with crimes. Like it's always the little guys that get rolled up, and it's never the big dog, not Roman Reigns.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
My least favorite character, man. I'm really like grasping at straws with this one because there's like we've covered literally everybody in the movie, and I'm not going to pick Dolores. So I'll just say Roman Reigns because we didn't really get anything out of him. And he got the shit beaten out of him, even though he was much bigger than Fassbender. So I guess you suck. That's it.
All right. Well, if you don't know anything about me, you know I don't like certain things in life. So my least favorite character is Roman Reigns' dog. I fucking hated that dog. I hate when dogs bark excessively for no reason. I mean, I know Fassbender was there and he was guarding the house, but yeah, Roman Reigns' dog was very annoying, and the way he was barking annoyed me, and I wanted to mute my television and shut him up. So yeah, Roman Reigns' dog, my least favorite character in the movie.
On a scale of 0 to 10 plums, how terrified were you when he busted through the glass?
9.5 plums. That was insane. On steroids.
Yeah.
Also, like Fassbender, like you reaching the house with that Molotov cocktail, that old E.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Right
right.
through, perfect shot right through the glass.
Perfect.
Yeah. I mentioned it before, but like he did lose the fight, but that was such a cool fight the way it was choreographed, like how they went all over the house and like would, certain things would get incorporated, like pushing the couch against them.
Let's just say
shit.
don't talk about too much yet.
Okay. That's true. Yeah, I should shut up. Yeah. So who wants to talk about favorite scenes?
Who wants to go first? I'll go first.
Go first,
Yeah,
so
go
you can
first.
talk
Go first.
about
You
that.
can talk about that scene.
But there's like 3 or 4 top scenes, but yeah, fight scene for me, just awesome. I loved the fact that like you could never fully see them, but you could see everything that was happening. And, obviously in a scene like that where they're obviously not fighting, it just makes it look more real. But yeah, Ryan, just pushing the couch, the way, the whole he falls into the table and it gets fucking jammed into his back and he pulls it out and the blood dripping as he's going after Fassbender. And, I forget who Robbie mentioned Barry before with Charles Parnell, but that scene reminded me of the fight scene in Barry. Do you remember the one I'm talking about, Robbie?
Yeah.
That's
Season
what,
2.
yeah, that's what that reminded me of. It was just the big versus small guy, and just complete fucking mayhem. Like you said, Ryan, through every single room of the house, the bong fucking smashing it over his head, every single glass that got broken, the holes that got put in the wall. Just awesome. I thought it was the best part of the movie by far. I mean, there are other scenes that I really liked, but wow, like I just thought that's one of those scenes in a movie where you're like, okay, this was worth my time because of that scene. So yeah, I mean, Robbie, Ryan, do you guys want to add anything on to that scene? Because, I just thought it was great.
I mean, no joke. I thought that was one of the best fight scenes I've ever watched on film. I
Yeah.
thought it was amazing. Absolutely brilliantly shot. When he pulled out the fucking cheese grater, I'm like, what's he gonna do with the fucking cheese grater?
I love how he like looked at it too, and he's like, "Fuck, this is what I grabbed."
And then he just fucking chucked that gave me a good laugh. But no, I thought that was extremely well choreographed and executed brilliantly. And I would just tell people to just watch the movie up until that part, maybe, or even just watch that scene. And then if they want to turn it off, turn it off. It's well worth the 10 minutes it was.
Yeah, I feel like that clip is going to get posted on, and it's probably already there, like on YouTube or social media or whatever. And like, be like, look, check out how awesome the scene is. And then people are going to watch the movie and be like, yeah, all right, that scene was awesome. But the rest of the movie,
Yeah.
decent parts, I guess. But no, I don't think I have anything to add. That was good explanation of the fight scene by both of you. It was very good. It reminded me of a lot of like Jackie Chan fight scenes where he uses his environment around
Yeah.
him. And just it like felt like a other than the surviving again, the humongous uppercut, like it felt like a real fight between two people that like sort of know how to fight. Like it wasn't like crazy martial arts or like almost like superhuman-esque things. It was just like an awesomely choreographed fight. So yeah, agree.
His jaw is would 100% have been broken in real
Oh,
life.
Yeah.
oh, a hundred
Teeth are out.
exploded.
Yeah,
That
teeth
was
are off.
that was a star punch from Punch Out. That was a humongous uppercut.
Yeah, that was he's drinking more Shores for the rest of his life.
Robbie, you want to go next with the favorite team?
Sure, I'll go with the Fassbender Tilda Swinton scene in at the restaurant. First off, the only like honestly, when I had my own house, like it would be milliseconds before when I noticed that somebody that wasn't on the block was on the block in the car, just like
Right?
not. And if for him to be there for like 15 hours, I'm calling the police. I'm looking through the window. I'm saying, get off my fucking property. What are you doing here? It's
Especially in the
whatever.
suburbs of New York City. So it was probably Long Island, Westchester, Jersey. Those people have nothing else to do than look out their windows at who's parked in the street.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only thing that was crazy. But I just love the. I mean, was it back and forth between them two? I mean, Tilda Swinton was the one kind of dominating that scene, but I just love the kind of cat and mouse like that was going on. I mean, I'm sure she knew 100% knew that she was going to die, but it also put a little doubt in your head to the point where you thought that, oh my God, she's definitely getting inside the killer's head or his mind, and he's going to slip up, especially at the end when they're walking outside. Like, did I think that she was going to have a knife in her pocket? Obviously not. But I also didn't think that he was going to go through with shooting her in the head. So I love that scene about that. That's what, like I said earlier in the show, that's what I loved about this movie. The doubt it kind of put in my head to the fact, like, oh my God, he's not living by this code of don't, no empathy. He's going to slip up here. And he didn't. And I was shocked and surprised. And I was like, thank you. Because I didn't want to see some bullshit Hollywood fucking, cinema ending where he's like, he fucks up and gets shot in the head and dies. So I
Yeah.
enjoyed that scene.
What I love too were like the little, like she had so many little things that she said that were just like, not funny, but just like thought provoking, where she's like, oh, if I would have known this day was coming when it did, I would have had Haagen-Dazs with every meal. And ordering the whiskey and being like, by the time you finish explaining, I might be done with all of them. So I don't need the explanation. Yeah, she was just awesome. And for such a small role to stand out like that is just, it's just a tribute to her as an actress.
Also, like, first off, shout out to Haagen-Dazs Superior Ice Cream. Everybody knows that. Um,
Please sponsor the show.
yeah, please. Oh my God, I'd be fucking like Walter Hudson. Um, the masseuse, who's getting the massage that long? They fucking or what?
Listen, I mean, you got a lot of money. You could pay for like a really, really, really long massage.
Also, how much you think that bottle of whiskey was that she brought? I was trying to get the label. I wanted to look it up.
Definitely a couple hundred at least. She drinks the
She
good
had it there.
stuff.
Yeah, she knew. I mean, if you knew that you were about to kick the bucket, I mean, give me the good stuff. There's no
Yeah,
Schlitzie
might as
around here.
well.
I also love the fact that she had a personal bottle because she
Right.
says, "Bring out my bottle,"
Yeah,
and they give it to her.
that's some real shit right there.
Yeah.
The other thing, similar to being in the car on a side street in the suburbs, firing a gun in the suburbs, and he's like not like right by his car. He would have to climb out of that like ravine and like walk by the restaurant. Like the 80 Nassau police would be there in like 4 seconds.
And they also kind of already were like had an eye on him
Right.
because when he goes and sits down and they come over and ask him if he wants a menu, they kind of like were looking at him like, who the fuck is this guy?
Right. Yeah, a restaurant like that where people have their own bottles, they know everyone that walks in that place.
But you know what a lot of people also say?
What?
Not my chair, not my problem. So they might have been like, you know what? Hey, fuck it.
That's what happened when we went to the Four Horsemen. The waitress walked out and she said, "Benny, I'm gonna bring the bottle." And Benny had his own bottle at the Four Horsemen.
That's what you do.
Wow.
The guy knows what he's doing.
Jesus. I'm gonna go my favorite scene. I'm gonna go with the opening scene, and I think this might have been like Robbie said, um, and I think a lot of people would think was like pretty mundane and boring. But I actually kind of liked that they made it so boring because, like he explained, like this is what this job is. A lot of times is just fucking waiting around, and like what do you do to try to just pass the time and not fall asleep and not, you know, miss your opportunity and whatever. Um, and plus, I mean, seeing his yoga poses made me extremely jealous. I couldn't do any of that shit.
Right? I was like, man, I can never get that low
Right?
on a bend.
Yeah. Or like when he had like his one leg behind him, like he was like a right angle, that fucking guy.
He's
Good for him.
perpendicular.
In many ways in one.
Perpendicular.
No, I kind of liked it too, just because it was a mix between a lot of like witty stuff, but then also like that just blown out ego of like
Yes.
preaching and like saying all these things. Like, it's like the Tyler Durden kind of
Yes.
speech where it's like I got this all figured out. And then I also like when he was like, if you can't, if you get bored easily, like this is not the job for you, and then he just immediately falls asleep sitting up.
Yeah.
So maybe the opening dragged on a little too long, but I did kind of enjoy the mundaneness to it, and that just having that voiceover the whole time.
Yeah. And I think you were right when you brought up like this is the new uh you know fucking incel dudes character that they're gonna emulate because of that one speech when he's in that beginning and he says, my process is purely logistical, narrowly focused by design. I'm not here to take sides. It's not my place to formulate any opinion. No one who can afford me needs to waste time winning me to some cause. I serve no god or country. I fly no flag. If I'm effective, it's because of one simple fact. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Shut the fuck up and just start shooting.
Yeah. You just know that that's going to be in a ton of dudes fucking aim profiles acting like they're edgy.
You know what? It's gonna be over like a montage of Donald Trump like walking around and
Probably.
like
I thought that what's his name
Don't
was gonna say it.
fuck.
Yeah. During his next debate, DeSantis is gonna say that while he's wearing high heels,
Could be.
his lifts and his cowboy boots.
um, any mentions for favorite scenes? Right, everyone went right.
My Ani Mensch is inside of something that I didn't care for, but maybe we'll get to that in a little bit. It was the scene between Leo and the killer in the car when he shoots him. And again, that was another one where it was like super tense. And then, like, again, to Robbie's point, we're like, all right, he's gonna let him go. And nope, just fucking shoots him right in the head and just walks away. I thought it was, another one of those tension building scenes, and it was pretty good.
Yeah, great. I felt bad for Leo. Like he gave him what he wanted. I mean, I know in his line of work he can't have witnesses and people know what he looks like and stuff, but come on, Leo, why'd Leo gotta go like that?
Yeah.
He was just picking up a fare.
R.I.P. young Leo.
And he stole his stereo. Robbie, any honorable mentions for you?
No, shout out New Orleans. One
Yeah,
of the best
always.
cities in America. Love you.
Yeah.
Hopefully be back. Yeah. I'm glad she got her shine.
Yeah. So he went to New Orleans. He was in Dominican Republic. He was in Florida and New York. Was there another location?
Paris in the beginning of the movie.
Yes, right. Yes. Yeah, it's good locations.
A bathroom in Paris.
Yeah, not bad.
Got himself shaven. Oh, also, I'm that's my new move, by the way. Glass on the knob at the hotel, just in case someone wants to fuck around and find out.
That is a cool, yeah. I did like that.
You never know. So I'm all about that move, even though, I'm not an assassin, but you just never know. You always gotta be on guard.
And it's
Great
gonna
move.
accidentally fall off in the middle of the night, and you're gonna shit yourself and try to jump out the window.
Yeah. And I wouldn't do a thing anyway, just hide under the bed. So
we mentioned it before, but I just really quick want to mention again the scene where the lawyer dies. I really like that a lot as well. Yeah, I don't have any really other honorable mentions. Bunch of good scenes, but
yeah, and the whole Dolores thing.
Yeah, that was I like that, and like all the scenes when he was in his storage lockers and stuff, like that was those were cool. Like I like them.
Poor Dolores got the fucking neck snap from hell.
Oof. But hey, her kids get that life insurance.
Yeah.
So
he did her solid.
He's a killer with a heart of gold. All right. Least favorite scenes.
You lead us off?
It's me, I think. I don't know. I guess for lack of a better choice, I'm gonna go with the end, just because, like, I know what they were doing, where it was just kind of like, all right, he did what he needed to do, and now he's relaxing, whatever. I don't know. It just, like we talked about it before, where it's like we wanted maybe a little more from the relationship between him and the girlfriend or the wife or whatever she is, or just friend, who knows. But then, like, why show that scene, or like why? It's almost like she didn't need to exist. Like they could have just completely wiped her out of the movie and it would have been exactly the same. They could have went to his house and fucked his house up, and he would have known, all right, they know where I live, they're coming to get me, I better go on the offensive and go, fuck with these people. But they just kind of like threw this girl in, so he had some agency, but he probably would have done the same shit if they like broke his mirror or like ruined his Smith tapes or something.
And it kind of makes you think too, like, is this guy capable of loving anybody? Like,
No.
I think Robbie mentioned before, like, is he a sociopath? Like, probably. But maybe it's a cover. I don't know. But yeah, I kind of agree with you there.
Yeah.
For me,
maybe that's his way to say he. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
I can hear.
Maybe that was his way to say that he loves her by going on a fucking 7-day killing spree.
Yeah, because she
instead
knows.
Of actually saying the words.
Yeah,
because it seems like she knows what he's up to. So,
some people get engaged, some people murder a bunch of people.
And are we really going to trust a dude with an iPad Nano? What's the deal? We're not. We don't stream. We don't stream anymore.
Yeah. iPod Touch. Well, that was one other non-believable thing. Not even the iPad Touch, because I can fuck with that, because you don't need an internet connection. It doesn't. Whatever. Like if you're trying to not be seen. But this guy came up with how many fucking phones? Every 2 seconds, he's breaking another phone and he's got another one just ready to go. And
Yeah.
I don't know, it just seemed like convenient.
For me, my least favorite scene, to be honest with you, I don't think there was like really any wasted movement in the movie at all, which is a good thing. I think that they fell a little um into the trap of like, uh, oh, poor country, let's put the yellow filter on it, and like it looks dingy and dirty, and but then yet everybody speaks perfect English in the Dominican Republic, apparently. I get that the doctor might, because she's obviously had like very high level of education, but like the brother speaks perfect English. The cab driver in the Dominican Republic speaks perfect English, apparently. So it's just one of those things where it's like, obviously it's a movie and you need him to, it's got, you want people to understand what they're saying, but it just felt a little like, all right, well, this is a little too Hollywood for me.
I love when movies do like where they start speaking whatever language of whatever country that they're in, and then they almost kind of do some kind of visual cue or like something, change a camera angle, and then everyone changes to English. So it's almost like they're actually speaking
Yeah.
whatever language, but we're gonna present it in English because this is an English movie for
Yeah. Yeah.
American
Yeah.
audiences. Or I like when they do that type of shit.
Yeah. But that would have been kind of cool too for like the killer to speak Spanish, because like he's like all around the world doing all these crazy things. Like it would make sense that he probably knows another language or two. And I don't mind a subtitle in that situation, especially if it's only going to be a couple of scenes. But again, I really don't think it was that big of a faux pas or like ruin the movie for me, but just something that stuck out to me.
Yeah,
Man, if I did,
go ahead, Robbie.
oh, sorry, you go ahead.
I was just gonna complain really quick about subtitles because I always watch with subtitles because I'm fucking old and I have a kid who would wake up if I raised the volume above 3. So when there's subtitles and then they speak a language other than English or a
I
language
guess
other than the movie is presented in, and there's no fucking subtitles of what they're saying,
it
I
just says speaking Spanish in
yeah,
parentheses.
or something, or like speaking foreign language. It's like, you motherfucker, seriously? Why are you trying to hide what they're saying? I hate
Yeah.
that shit. Sorry. Go ahead, Robbie.
Benny, if I thought, your racist rant on 20 McDowell couldn't be topped, but let's just say
How is that
you,
racist? I want them to have actual representation.
you totally redeemed yourself. No, I'm just
Okay,
kidding.
good.
I just wanted to throw that in there. Um, just joking. I don't want us to get canceled. That was just my joke.
No, no.
Um, I talked about it in the beginning. My least, it's not my least favorite because I didn't really have a least favorite scene. I thought the movie didn't have anything that I hated. I just could have used a little less in the beginning. He could have kind of toned that down a couple minutes of the backstory of him waiting to meet somebody. But I understand it built the tension. It showed you, like we said, it showed you who he was and the type of person that he is and how he thinks and how he acts and how self-righteous he is. Meanwhile, he's a fucking assassin. Um, but yeah, that was really it. I didn't really have anything crazy to pick on. Obviously, you can nitpick some things like him buying stuff with the credit card, but it's not really him, or buying stuff off Amazon. Uh, Other than that, that guy, the gym janitor's not going to feel that thing, his little fucking
He's
whatever that it was, little
the
keypad
key
thing, just
card.
get
Yeah.
ripped apart. But that's a movie, and he's an assassin. But this is me nitpicking that stupid shit.
Yeah. Okay. Any mentions on any least favorite scenes?
Not nothing.
All right. Should we move on and make it better?
Make it better.
Please.
All right. Any ideas? I mean, as usual with 3 dumb idiots, how could we possibly know how to make something better? But let's give our thoughts anyway. Anyone want to go first?
I mean, the things that I mentioned, like I wish there was a little bit more driving force behind like the spree, but again, there's probably enough there. Just the fact that he fucked up and you know they put a hit on him, or and his girlfriend got messed up, but nothing too nothing too crazy. That was just it for me. I think we kind of went over it a little bit a couple times during this, so don't want to beat a dead horse on it, but that's it for me.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, and I don't know how to make it better in my opinion. Like how would I make it better for me? I have no idea, honestly. Because I think Robbie's right here. Like, it's not about the girlfriend, and it shouldn't be. And like I said before, you could just remove her, and it'd be basically the same exact movie. Um, so I don't know what they could have really done to make me more invested. Again, maybe it would have been some kind of setback, or like he was injured, or like something. I don't know. But I think that was the point of the movie. So, which is fine, and it's okay if I didn't like that was the point. That the point is just like he fucked up. He feels his ego is bruised. He's potentially in danger from these people trying to kill him and or his girlfriend slash friend or whatever. Um, but I don't have to like the point. So I don't know what would have made it better for me, but something. Um, Whatever.
Yeah, you don't
Robbie,
have to like
anything?
it.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you don't have to like it. You could,
Oh,
if
of
you
course
wanted
not.
more of a plot and something like that, that's
I
your
mean,
opinion.
I'm
You
a
have it. You
softie
pay
in
your
my old
taxes, right?
age. I do pay my taxes. I'm an American. I deserve to
Yeah.
be entertained.
And like we always say, freedom
It's not free.
isn't free. So
Not anymore.
no. Uh One way to make this movie better, put me in it as a
Yes.
FedEx guy.
Yes.
Why not? That's the way to make it better. Put me in as a FedEx driver, and I would stop the killer in a second. I would sniff him out in the elevator. I would judo chop him, and I would knock him out. Um, no, make it better. No, I liked it as is. I keep on driving the point home that he stuck to the code and he didn't show empathy, because I really enjoyed that a lot. I didn't want to see him slip up, because that's not the type of person. He does fuck up and he's not perfect, but that's not what this movie was about. And I'm glad it stayed like that, because I really would have hated it if he did wind up dying or fucked up because he slipped up. I don't like things like that. And sometimes I feel like it's unrealistic, because people like that really wouldn't slip up, because you had to be a certain type of person to kill people and to be an assassin and to be that type of person. And they usually don't feel empathy. So that's why I liked it. And I really wouldn't change anything about that specific aspect.
Yeah, and I love that point too, because I feel like every time those moments came up in the movie and he didn't do the thing that, didn't break his code, maybe I wasn't thinking of it to bring it up on the podcast, but I did enjoy that. And I like that about him. And it's just against the trope of like every other movie where like, oh, the killer finds a heart and it like
Right.
that becomes the reason that the day gets saved. So yeah, I agree with you on that. I think it's a great point. And I love that you brought it up.
That's what's so
Yeah, there
hard about
was
the. Go ahead, Robbie. Sorry.
no, quickly, it was just I found myself multiple times in multiple scenes where he was put to that kind of test with empathy, where I was like, in my head, I'm like, thank God. I'm like, thank God he just isn't a complete psychopath and doesn't care. Because I would be, like I said, I would be so pissed, and I was just so happy I didn't go to that point.
Right. And like before I said, like, I want something to connect to. I want something more for me to root for or whatever. But like there's also the issue of doing that too much, where the killer who you make the protagonist and you make that everyone loves and likes, like saves a kid or finds a heart or like whatever. And sometimes that comes off as fucking lame and cheesy. But then on this way, it's like, but I want a little more of that. So it's,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
hard. It's, like I feel bad. We've said it before. Like you feel bad, like complaining or trashing like someone's work of art. Um, but that's just how I feel. But it's hard to explain what I really want here. So is it it's more on me maybe than it is on the movie itself? I don't know.
I feel like deep down inside, you really want to be a stone cold assassin, but you can't. It doesn't come out of you,
Yeah.
so that's why you feel that way. But like, I think maybe give it a couple more years, and I think you might be a stone cold assassin. So just let life play out a little bit.
All right. Thank you for your vote of confidence, Robbie. I appreciate that.
Well, we've
We
been
believe in
together
you.
for so long. Yeah, we've been together for so many weeks now. I could see that killer instinct in you.
There's a deep hidden sociopath within me, but I keep it down with feelings and emotions.
I love that about you.
Yeah. Um, Speaking of feelings and emotions, I have some feelings and emotions about our next game because we're gonna cast a handsome, delicious Matt Damon in a role. Maybe that exists or maybe that doesn't exist. So should we play the game of working overtime with Matt Damon?
Oh, I
Uh,
would hope Matt Damon comes on the show one day.
oh my God. Imagine.
Please, he lives in Brooklyn. Maybe we'll find him this
Does
weekend.
he?
Yeah.
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 Give me a lean, mean, transitioning queen as Matt Damon as Dolores,
Nice.
with shades of his character from The Departed, where he had an outward tough guy appearance, but as soon as shit hit the fan, he was a little bitch, and he would have been cowering in the corner, uh, trying to end his life with a bunch of Xanny bars. So yeah, give me him as Dolores, because I feel like he could have did a great job with that role, and just been a little bitch cowering in the corner.
Robbie, you want to go?
Okay. Yeah, give me a young, middle-aged. That's not really young, so forget it. Give
No,
me a
we're young.
young, yeah, give me a young adolescent, lean, mean, virile, muscles everywhere. Matt Damon looking like talented Mr. Ripley, shredded in a Speedo on the beach. Give me Matt Damon as a dominatrix. I mean, imagine seeing Matt Damon in leather, prancing around, stretching, you know, working those thighs, his tush in that leather. Or was it pleather? Who knows? But I would just love to have seen Matt Damon play that part. I mean, it's a short part. He does get killed, which is, rest in peace. We've seen him get killed in a few movies. But yeah, give me Matt Damon as a dominatrix. Imagine him in that leather suit looking like, a young, lean Andre the Giant. So yeah, give me Matt Damon as a dominatrix. It would have really spiced this movie up a little bit. Had some feelings because I didn't have any feelings in this movie.
For the first time ever, we are all three of us casting Matt Damon in a female role because give me a young, chiseled, muscular Matt Damon as the killer's girlfriend or killer's wife or
Now
whatever.
that would be
Now
worth going on a
that's
spree
some
for.
agency. Listen, Matt Damon waiting for me at home. I'll kill everybody in every state, everywhere. So give me that. That would have really made me love this movie more because I would have known that Fassbender just needed to get home to Matt Damon for some movie time and cuddles.
No
Please.
plot needed. You just left the trail of dead behind you.
That's it. Um, Anything else that we need to say about the killer? I'm glad we watched the new movie finally.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I was glad to watch something new. I was glad to step out of our comfort zone a little bit. Yeah, this was fun. I'd like to do it again. Hopefully, there's something else coming up in the next few months that we could do this with.
Yeah, great. Be nice. I mean, I'd love to let the boys watch at the movies one day, but I don't know. We'd have to all decide on a movie and figure that out.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anything else from you, Robbie?
No, I was glad we watched a movie that none of us have seen. Uh, it was nice. Yeah, it was good. Um, I just would love for something new to just blow my balls completely off my body
I know.
and leave them in like fucking, St. James or something. I just really fucking, I don't know what's going on. Most of the times where my balls have been blown off has been, TV shows that I watch. But
Right.
I mean, like you said before, I don't know. It's something different. Maybe it's just everybody's taking a big paycheck and not bringing their A game.
Maybe. But yeah, I agree. It's been a while since a movie's really blown my plums off. Um, maybe you could
Seriously, I don't even
watch
know.
maybe you could watch some more David Fincher movies because I know you said you only have seen Gone Girl, Fight Club, now this, um, Social Network, obviously, but what's another good movie that he did?
I've seen
Um,
Zodiac. Zodiac was very good.
Zodiac, that was good. The Game is pretty good with Michael Douglas.
I
That
heard
was a
that.
good one. Seven, obviously. I mean, you've never seen Seven. You should watch Seven. Maybe we should watch Seven. That's a fantastic film.
I
Let
do
me
know what
announce
happens
it.
at the end, obviously.
Oh yeah, that's right. And then it'll get ruined like
Yeah.
Few Good Men got ruined for me last week. Whatever.
What's in the box?
It's in the box. All right. Well, like we said at the beginning, please let us know if we completely missed the point of this movie, or if we nailed it like the killer nailed the lawyer's chest, um, or anything else. We have a bunch of episodes previous to this, so listen to one of those. Bring up something from our past week's episodes. Let us know if there's movies that you want us to watch. Remember, Christmas season is coming. We're definitely going to do some Christmas movies. So if you have your favorites, let us know. Um, or just let us know we're stupid. Either way, we love hearing from you. Thank you for the
I
support.
can't watch.
Go ahead.
I can't watch Home Alone 2
Why not?
because Trump's in it.
Not okay. You can fast forward.
Right down there.
Right down the hall to the left. It's me, the father. I'll say it right now, and I'll say it every Christmas. Home Alone 2, better than 1.
I think I agree.
Lost to New York. It's fucking fantastic. Anyway, thank you for the support. We love you. Robbie, tell him good night.
Good night to the killer. Forbid empathy. Empathy is weakness, and weakness is vulnerability.
You picked the wrong house, motherfucker. Acknowledge me.
They really should have casted Roman Reigns.
It really
Oh,
should have.
I was so disappointed when I found out it wasn't him.